A very warm good morning to all of you. So we are going to start today chapter 3, that is theory of consumers behavior. All right, and in my last video I have explained you people that we are going to study in this chapter. We will study about okay, don't write anything, first understand how a consumer how a consumer behave. All right, that is the first thing we are going to study in this chapter, because the name of the chapter is theory of consumers behavior. Okay, theory of consumers behavior means in this chapter we will try to understand how a consumer behave. Okay, what are the rule a consumer follow? Okay, what are the rule a consumer follow? Is it clear? So all these questions, okay, when we say that how a consumer behave, means we say that when price is high, demand is low. Why when price is high, demand is low? Okay, so such kind of topic we are going to study in this particular chapter called theory of consumers behavior. Okay, so we are going to study about the consumer behavior. Okay, we will study that how a consumer behave in the market. Okay, what are the various factors which affects the demand of the consumer? Is it clear? Then how a consumer decide that what price he has to buy how much quantity of a commodity? Means we know that in the market the different prices are available. At what price consumer is buying different quantity of the commodity? Is it clear to all of you? So in this chapter we will study about the consumer's behavior. Okay, about the consumer's behavior. Okay, that how does a consumer decide how much of a good to buy at a given price, and why does he buy more of good when its price falls? Is it clear to all of you? So here we study about how a consumer behave in the market. Okay, what are the various rules and the principles a consumer follow so as to behave in a certain way in the market? Is it clear to all of you? In this question we will deal with the question that how a consumer behave. Okay, how does a consumer decide that what quantity of the commodity he has to buy at different price level? Is it clear to all of you? So you know that in the market, okay, in the market different prices are available. Different prices are there. At different prices, consumer purchase different quantity of a commodity. Different quantity of a commodity means how a consumer decide that at a particular price how much quantity of the commodity he has to buy. What are those factors which help a consumer to take all this decision? Means a proper behavior of the consumer we are going to study in this particular chapter. Is it clear? And in my last video I have told you people that to understand this consumer's behavior, to understand the behavior of consumer, all right, we have two laws in your syllabus. One is marginal utility analysis, other is indifference curve analysis. Two laws we have to study, and these two theories and the laws will help you to understand the behavior of the consumer. Is it clear to all of you? Now, so now you have to open your copy and you'll write. We'll start with the first one. What is the first one? Marginal utility analysis or cardinal utility analysis. Okay, this we are going to start. Now make a heading. Now write down the name of the chapter and then make a heading: marginal utility analysis and or cardinal utility analysis. Children, please write down the heading. Now children, see, first write down the heading: marginal utility analysis or cardinal utility analysis, and we will start with the first theory of chapter 3, that is theory of consumers behavior. And what is the name of that theory? Marginal utility analysis or cardinal utility analysis. Now we are going to write the first heading under this is the main features. Main features of marginal utility analysis or cardinal utility analysis. Is it clear? Okay, now first thing you need to understand those economists, and who has given this theory? This theory is given by Marshall. Who developed this theory? Marshall. Marshall has developed this theory. Okay, so what are the basic features of this theory, which is called marginal utility analysis or cardinal utility analysis? Okay, according to the economist of marginal utility analysis, the first feature is consumer is rational. Okay, the first feature of marginal utility analysis is this, that consumer is rational. Okay, now what do you mean by this? What is the first? Means what the economist of the marginal utility analysis approach or cardinal utility analysis approach has said about this theory. They said that consumer is rational. Consumer is rational means, okay, it means that the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. Is it clear? So what is the meaning of consumer is rational? What do you mean by consumer is rational? Consumer is rational means the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. Okay, so the economist, the Marshall, believes in his theory, which is called marginal utility analysis. He said that consumer is rational, that is the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. All right. Now this is the first feature, main feature of marginal utility analysis. What is the first feature of marginal utility analysis? Consumer is rational. Okay, and you will underline this. Write down, all of you. Consumer is rational. And what is the meaning of consumer is rational? That is the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. That is the first feature of marginal utility analysis, children. That is the first feature. Number one feature. Is it clear? That is the first feature of marginal utility analysis, that is consumer is rational and the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. Is it clear? Now, what is the second feature? What is the second feature of the marginal utility analysis? Now try to understand. Second feature deals with the question when a consumer is in equilibrium. When a consumer is in equilibrium. Okay, first thing we will answer this question. When a consumer is in equilibrium according to marginal utility approach. Is it clear? When a consumer is in equilibrium according to marginal utility approach. So first you will write this question, and then in the second feature, what the economists of the marginal utility analysis are saying this, okay, that now see children, when a consumer is in equilibrium, a consumer will be in equilibrium when he spends his given money income. Okay, we all know that a consumer earns income, and what a consumer does with his income, with his given money income, he purchases different commodities. Okay, so a consumer will be in equilibrium when he spend his given money income. What do you mean given money income? हमको ये पता है कि जो भी income होती है, a consumer receive करता है हर महीने, वो fixed होती है. A consumer gets a fixed amount of income every month. That's why we write given money income. And what he does with the given money income? Purchase of different commodities. Okay, so a consumer is said to be in equilibrium when he spends his given money income on the purchase of different commodities in such a way so as to maximize his total utility. ठीक है, तो कंज्यूमर तब इक्विलिब्रियम में होता है जब वो अपना गिवन मनी इनकम डिफरेंट कमोडिटीज पे स्पेंड करते हुए अपने टोटल यूटिलिटी को मैक्सिमाइज कर लेता है, तभी वो कंडीशन कहलाती है अ कंज्यूमर इज इन इक्विलिब्रियम. ओके, So what is the second feature of marginal utility analysis? The second feature of marginal utility analysis is when a consumer is in equilibrium. So answer is a consumer will be in equilibrium when he spends his given money income on the purchase of different commodities in such a way so as to maximize his total utility. Okay. So when consumer will able to maximize his total utility by purchasing different commodities through his given money income, then only we can say that a consumer is in equilibrium. So three facts are there, children. A consumer is in equilibrium when he spends his given money income. Where he spends his given money income? On the purchase of different commodities. Okay. So when consumer spends his given money income on the purchase of different commodities and when he will able to maximize his total utility, then that situation will be called as a situation when a consumer will be in equilibrium. That is the second feature. So all of you have to write this statement. You people have to write this statement. Statement is a consumer will be. That is the second feature of marginal utility analysis, children. What is the second feature? A consumer will be in equilibrium when he spends his given money income on the purchase of different commodities in such a way so as to maximize his total utility. तो जब कंज्यूमर अपने गिवन मनी इनकम को सारे कमोडिटीज को खरीदने में स्पेंड करता है, करते हुए अपने टोटल यूटिलिटी को मैक्सिमाइज कर लेता है, उसी कंडीशन को कहते हैं दैट कंज्यूमर इज इन इक्विलिब्रियम. दैट इज द सेकंड फीचर. आई होप यू पीपल हैव अंडरस्टूड ऑफ द सेकंड फीचर ऑफ मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी एनालिसिस. Okay, so please write down this feature, children. Okay, now this is the feature you people have to write. So we have completed two features, children. First feature, consumer is rational. And what is the main aim of the consumer? Consumer is rational means the main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. What is the second feature? When a consumer is in equilibrium. A consumer will be in equilibrium when he spends his given money income on the purchase of different commodities in such a way so as to maximize his what? Total utility. Okay. Third feature. Write down the third feature. Third feature of marginal utility analysis, children. The third feature. Okay. Now try to understand what is the other name of marginal utility analysis? Cardinal utility analysis. Okay. So according to this, okay, the utility approach that it says that the third feature is this, that utility which a consumer get, okay, from a commodity can be, this is the main line, can be measured in, this is the main line, can be measured in absolute terms or in cardinal terms. Okay, that is quantitatively. That is quantitatively. Okay, so this is the main line. कैसे utility measure करते हैं? Marginal utility approach के द्वारा. Can be measured in absolute terms or in cardinal terms. That is, what is the meaning of absolute terms or cardinal terms? Quantitatively. That is the third feature of marginal utility approach. The third feature of marginal utility approach is whatever utility a consumer get from a commodity can be measured. How can be? That is why this approach is known as cardinal utility approach. Okay. और एब्सोल्यूट टर्म मतलब, इसका मतलब ये होता है कि सपोज हमको यूटिलिटी बतानी है, ओके और हम लोग कमोडिटी कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, फर्स्ट कमोडिटी, सेकंड चपाती, थर्ड चपाती, फोर्थ चपाती. ओके ऑल राइट. एंड सपोज इफ वी आर राइटिंग दैट फर्स्ट चपाती गिव्स अस यूटिलिटी इज इक्वल टू 10, मतलब हम लोग किस में एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं अपने यूटिलिटी को? एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स में, नंबर्स में, क्वांटिटी में. सेकंड हम लोग को दे रहा है 8, थर्ड इज गिविंग अस 6, fourth is given as 4. So what we are showing? We are showing our utility from a particular commodity in absolute terms or in cardinal terms, that is in quantity. We are telling in quantity that how much we are getting from each unit of a commodity. That is what it is written. Utility which a consumer get from a commodity can be measured in absolute terms or in cardinal terms, that is quantitatively. Okay, that is the third feature of marginal utility approach. Is it clear to all of you children? So 3 features I have given you of marginal utility approach. First feature, consumer is rational. What is the meaning of consumer is rational? The main aim of the consumer is to maximize utility. Second feature I gave you, that when a consumer is in equilibrium, consumer will be in equilibrium when he spends his given money income on the purchase of different commodities so that he will able to maximize his what? Total utility. What is the third? How we measure utility according to marginal utility analysis? We measure utility in what terms? Absolute terms or cardinal terms? That is, what is the meaning of absolute terms or cardinal terms? In quantitatively. In quantity, we can tell that how much utility a consumer get from a particular commodity can be expressed in absolute terms. Is it clear to all of you? 3 features we have done. One last feature is left that I'll give you tomorrow, and then I will start the next topic of this particular chapter. For today only this much. Thank you children.